only dentist in South Florida offering Solea laser dentistry. No pain, no anesthesia, no shots. With over 23 years of experience, Dr. Colella does fast braces, dental implants, veneers, and more. She can even finish off your smile with Botox, fillers, and lip augmentation. Call 954-428-6923 or visit yoursensationalsmile.com.
Ivy Lee's Luxe Makeup and Beauty Lounge in downtown Boca Raton does fabulous professional makeup application. Make an appointment today and see how glamorous you can look. Call 561-409-4065 to book your appointment. Ivy Lee's Luxe Makeup and Beauty Lounge is located at 233 South Federal Highway on the first floor of the Boca Grand Building in Boca Raton. The number again is 561-409-4065.
The opinions expressed on the following sponsored program are strictly those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
It's the Becky and Boca Show, coming to you live every Thursday night at 6 p.m. from glamorous downtown Boca Raton. I'll show you how to live life in style in one of the country's most elegant cities, nestled right along the beautiful Atlantic beaches between Palm Beach and Miami. So sit back, relax, and let me show you how to indulge yourself Boca style.
Hello, welcome to the Becky and Boca Show. I'm very excited tonight because I have, I don't want to say one of my oldest girlfriends, but a girlfriend from college that I've known for a long, long time. We already discussed that we're not going to talk about years or ages here.
No years.
But this is my friend Karen Pittman, and she drove in from Tampa. I went to University of South Florida a while ago, and we were both on the, I call it a pom-pom squad, but you don't like to call it that.
What do you call it? Dance squad?
Dance squad. Debbie calls it a drill team.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
That's where we went to high school.
Okay, I think I have to adjust myself here. Okay. Oh, this way. We're short on staff here on the station tonight. This way. Okay. All right, somebody's adjusting it. Okay, so a long, long time ago, we were on, I call it a pom-pom squad. You know like to call that?
Yeah.
Okay. And that was in Tampa, Florida
We were
for USF. And
we were the Sundolls.
the Sundolls, they called them. Remember we got in trouble for that being a sexist name? And then we had to vote whether or not we wanted to change it, and nobody wanted to change it. Maybe you don't remember that.
I don't remember that.
Okay.
Well, because you were on the squad the first year. I was on the squad.
Are you trying to say I'm older than you, Karen?
No, you were just on the squad the
No,
first
that's
year
true.
of Inception.
Because I was with Sue Backus. Remember
Right.
Sue? We
Yes.
both came from Illinois, and we were the very first squad.
You were the very
makes
and
it sound like we're 100. Do you see what they wear now?
Yes, I wish we had.
You wish we had those outfits?
Well, I think. Well, there were more. We had.
I like
we
the
were,
go-go
I was
boots.
thinking- yes,
I like the
and
go-go boots. I would have
we were
gone.
very-
I would have gone for that.
We were very covered.
We wore saddle shoes.
Your first year, the
And then
second year,
Nikes, right?
Yeah, and then second year we had Gina
Yeah.
Palumbo,
And
who got us into our athletic
Yeah.
shoes to make sure that our legs stayed healthy and our arch support. She was very much into. We were very fashion forward as far as athletics. We were one of the first teams to wear athletic shoes. Now
Yes,
all the girls,
I know, but now they wear
are
go-go
wearing
boots.
Back to the But
Yeah.
most cheer teams are wearing really good athletic shoes and not the
Are they?
saddle shoes anymore because shoes are important.
Okay, well, we're going to get to that in a minute. Wait, do you want to show your shoes now, Karen?
No.
No, come on.
Okay.
Okay, Karen walked in here. Well, I'm normally a lot taller than you, Karen.
Yes.
But not today, am I?
No, not today. I fixed that in Washington where I was shopping and I saw these great shoes and they're 6-inch wedges.
Do you know how tall I would be if I wore those? Mm-hmm. Can you show them? Can you put one up here?
Oh,
Take it off.
Take it off.
Yeah.
Well,
okay, wait. Hold that up. I'll hold it up. You really can walk in this?
I can walk in it. They're easy and they're comfortable. They're so comfortable. They're so comfortable that I actually had another one of our girlfriends that was on the drill team.
Debbie, she's taller
Deb.
than me. She bought a pair of these.
She bought a pair of those, so now she's going to be 6'3".
I'm 5'8". She's 5'9", I think.
Yeah, so she'll be 6'3" when she wears those. I bought the shoes so that when I walked with these ladies, I would be
Look at
their
that.
height.
That's
and then they
incredible.
went out and bought the shoes, so I'm back to being short again.
Well, did you see? We were just in the beauty lounge. Didn't Lisa do a great job on your makeup?
Yes.
And Ivy was in there too. And Ivy was wearing some
great. My
very
eyes look
high
awesome.
shoes. Did you know?
Yes.
I mean, you don't know Ivy that well, but she was tall today. Mm-hmm. So women can totally change their hat. Those are very nice, Karen.
Thanks. I love them, and they're comfortable. They're Alice
Well,
and Olivia.
I
and
can
they're
see
very
why they'd be
comfortable.
comfortable because it's not that deep of a.
So I can
But
walk.
what
I
about-
can even dance in these. These are dancing shoes.
What about the falling off hazard?
Now that I'm a little concerned about.
Fracture a hip, and then we're not so cool anymore, are we?
But you'll look
When you
good.
got the walker.
You'll look good
going
going
down.
into the
You're going, you know what they'll do?
Going
They'll,
to the
they'll
ER.
strap those shoes over the top of the gurney when they haul you off to the ambulance.
But you want to look good, and you want to be fashionable,
Yeah.
and it's important to look good.
Oh, we're going to talk about that. Now, I asked you something. You weren't sure you wanted to talk about it, but we're going to. Boca Raton women versus Tampa women. You know, I visit Tampa. Here, you got to keep
Okay.
this. And very nice town, great people. But you say there's a difference between Boca women and Tampa women.
Well, I noticed that you all are very, very. Everyone is very fit. At least all of your friends are very, very fit.
If the fitness thing is more important here, I guess.
In Tampa, there's a
Yeah.
segment that is very into being very fit, but everyone here looks
Fit?
fit and
It's like-
perfect.
It's
like
like an
perfect.
obsession. Yeah, it is. It is.
I mean, we're health conscious in Tampa, but
Oh, I know.
here everyone is very fit.
Everybody goes to the gym. Everybody's like, a lot of pressure here. It's easier in Tampa. Okay, there's something else we talked about, and I love you for this, Karen. You're a statistician, is that right?
My background is in measurement, evaluation, and statistics.
Okay, so you have this theory that when we're together with the girls that you always talk about, and I love it. It's called, you call it regression toward the mean.
Yes, it's not my term. It's a phenomenon in statistics. It's,
Okay, but we're applying it to
we're applying it to men.
to men.
And what I found, and we can also do it, we don't want to, women don't want to regress to the mean. What the regression to the mean is you have a tendency to, if you start out as an outlier, let's say the average is 80.
So
and
you're
you score
talking about-
on a test, you score
Okay.
a 90
Yeah.
the first time. The next time you take that same test, you'll probably get an 85. You'll go closer to the mean.
And you keep going until you're...
Yes, usually your tendency is to go, or people's tendency is to go towards the average or the mean.
Okay, but you have applied this to something else, haven't you?
It's an observation. And ladies, let's see if
Yeah,
you
see if the ladies agree.
agree with this.
Have you ever been to a high school reunion?
I found that men regress towards the mean. And what that is that you can take your hunky football player, football star, baseball star, tennis, swim, the great-looking guys that were the great-looking guys in high school. And then remember, there were those guys that were very nice, but maybe not as good-looking as these amazing guys. They were nice-looking guys.
The bookish guys, the
Or-
nerds.
and even just an average kind of guy.
Okay.
He was nice-looking, but not, the hot,
So you had
hunky.
your hot guys,
Yeah.
and then you had your nice average guys.
Yeah, the nice average. They weren't
Then you
ugly.
go back to a reunion 30 years
And-
later.
or you can also take it to the really ugly guys, too. And when you get to the reunion and everybody's at 50, when you get to about, 40, actually, all the guys look the same.
look alike.
They look alike. The hot guy looks just like the guy that was sort of not so great looking. or kind of
is there a
average.
message here?
It's regression to the mean. But I find that women don't want to regress to the mean.
Right.
And we don't want to,
They
so,
fight
and
it.
there are different things that we can do
Oh,
so
are
that
there
we
ever?
don't
We're going to talk about those in a minute.
so that we don't regress to the mean. Guys have it so much easier.
But now there are a few guys
Yes.
that look just as good,
Oh,
if
absolutely.
not better.
Those are the
than
outliers.
when they're the outliers.
those are like your Paul Newmans, your Robert Redford, your
Is there any way you can pick an outlier when they're young and know?
I don't know. I haven't studied that. I don't
Know
think,
that they're gonna
I
stick.
think if they continue to work out, and I think what happens is they get the little punch and everything else. And I think
And
that
it's-
men
that's
that are fit tend to look better,
Okay.
And
there's a lot of
they,
things-
that doesn't, they fight the regression to the mean.
They fight
also.
it. Okay. So regression to the mean. I know that
And
one.
that's the statistical.
Debbie, are you watching? I know she loved that.
That is your statistical lesson for today. Now let's get on to the fun stuff. But
Okay.
you can use that throughout, like what you do, Becky,
Yeah.
and providing us with information on
How not to regress to the
not
mean.
to regress to the mean. That's,
Right, and you don't have to
that
these
could
days.
be your byline.
Don't regress
Becky
to
and
the
Boca,
mean.
don't regress to the mean. See, that's another thing that we do as a group.
Yeah.
We've all stayed friends, and we each have a specialty, and we each bring it to
Yes.
the
yes.
group, and we share a lot of information.
But we have, and we love to share information on cosmetic procedures, plastic surgery, all that sort of thing. How do you feel about that? Because a lot of people are against surgically altering yourself, or I've done a lot of stuff.
I think within reason, and if you don't start looking really
Well, you
odd,
got to pick
and
the
if you
right
go
doctor.
to the right doctor.
Pick the right doctor. You don't want to look like you did anything.
No.
You want to look very natural.
You want to look relaxed. You just want to look refreshed.
Yeah.
So I believe wholeheartedly in doing anything you can to look refreshed,
Okay.
and that
You just don't want to go too far.
no.
But if you're with the right doctor, you're not going to go too far, because he's not going to do that, because he doesn't want to see that walking
That's
around saying he's my doctor.
right, that's so true. That's what I've heard
yeah.
from my good plastic surgeon friends. Are like, if it's done right, you don't know that they had
Right.
it done.
Right.
So that's key. Picking the right doctor, and you have to educate yourself, and just not go to somebody because their friend went to somebody.
Well, you got to
Do
take a good
research.
look at the friend.
Well, or ask, like I asked my OBGYN, Madeline Butler, who does the best breast augmentation, and she gave me
Okay.
the name.
Yeah.
And so I figure she sees a lot.
right.
So
What
she
kind of
would
doctor
know.
is she? Gynecologist?
She's a gynecologist.
Okay.
She's an OBGYN.
Okay.
And so I
Oh,
figured
she would know.
She would know.
Right.
She sees.
Smart. Okay.
So you ask somebody who's done who sees
Who's in the field and knows.
in the field.
Yeah.
Right.
And doesn't have any interest
My
in
husband, who is a physician, says when you want to pick a good surgeon, ask the surgical nurses. Find a surgical
yeah.
nurse,
Right.
because
Right.
they'll know who are the good surgeons.
Let's talk about your husband for a minute.
Okay.
He did my hand veins. How many years ago was that? Maybe
3 or 4
3 or
years
4 years ago. And I put that video on YouTube. And if you Google hand veins,
Yours is
it
popped
comes
up.
up first.
It does. It's
After all
awesome.
these years. And it was the best of all the cosmetic procedures I've done. That was the most impressive
Right.
and the easiest.
Yes.
There
not
was
painless.
no downtime. No downtime at all.
Well, Becky, you heal so much faster than anybody. Becky is like this.
It's not that I
Plastic surgery
It's not
phenomenon.
that I heal. It's just my mantra. If you're doing a cosmetic procedure, you do not complain. This is an elective cosmetic
But
procedure.
You had this fabulous
Because
outcome.
I'm so excited to get done.
Yeah.
But part of my outcome I attributed to my drive back from Tampa. Remember when you have to hold your hands elevated for 4 hours?
Yes.
Hold them at 10 and
So
2.
he did my hands also.
It is the most,
And-
I was a
and-
little nervous before I did it. And then after I did it, that was the simplest thing.
And takes
But there
years.
aren't too many doctors in the country that do it.
No, there's only a few.
Yeah.
He's an interventional radiologist, so he understands how to
The veins.
do the insert into the veins. He injects the foam, and it closes down the vein. So we're not doing any kind of filler.
Not taking the veins out.
No,
Not
they
covering them
close.
up.
And you don't need those veins. A lot of people think, oh, I'm going to need the veins in case I go into the hospital. They're
You're
going to need
kidding
to
me?
find
You
them.
know how many other veins?
There are lots of other veins.
I got a
And
big
really
one
and
right
truly,
here.
They don't put it in your hand.
No, they don't even really do it in the hand that much anymore.
So there's all these other veins that they can access.
They
So
can
you don't need
stick it in
those
your
veins.
ankle if they need to.
And the reason I wanted to have my hand veins done is when I found out that it was a sign of age. All of a sudden, it was like,
Oh, I had
have
the
to.
worst ones though. Do you remember mine?
Yeah, you look like Skeletor.
Yeah. Oh, horrible.
If
They
you-
were big and purple. They had knots in them.
But I always had veiny hands, even as a
Yeah.
kid.
So did I.
So I never had these beautiful hands, and that were flat. So now it's like great. But when I realized,
I just get, now I'm always holding a microphone now. Imagine if I
or a glass
had,
of wine,
Or a glass of wine.
or a glass of wine.
Yeah, one or
That's
the- one or
great
the
at
other.
parties. You don't want,
Right,
when you have the
want your
veiny
hand.
hands.
No, what I was doing was I was putting my hands behind my back a lot. And I noticed that in
remember.
photos. I always had my hands behind my back. That's how bad they were. And so I decided to go ahead and try this with Chris. And you don't feel the needles at all because they're hair-like, very, very thin. And all
Smaller
he
than a
does is he injects the sclerostin, which is the same thing they use in the legs.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like 10 minutes. I went home. He put a little pressure on them. I drove my 4 hours back to Boca, so my hands were elevated. And I took it. They looked good right then when I got home because the veins were flattened out. And then over the next few months, they just disappeared. And they never grew back.
No, they
It's
don't come back. They don't grow back. They don't
It's
get back.
amazing.
So it's one
amazing.
of those
I
things.
don't want to hold them up because that's cheating.
Right. And if
because
you
the blood runs
do,
down.
do filler, you have to continue to refill.
A lot of plastic surgeons and dermatologists will do filler around your veins to kind of puff your hands up.
But then you get that
to
puffy
hide them.
look.
Yeah, and you see that.
You get that puffy.
You see this puffy
look.
It's like boxer gloves.
So then, this he just closes them down, and then they stay.
It's amazing.
Closed.
We both had it done. Anyway, that's a really cool procedure, very unusual. And you say he might be doing them over on this coast now.
Mm-hmm.
Once a month.
About coming to
Del
Rey once a month on a Saturday and having a schedule
And
of
I know
hand veins.
I only needed one treatment. I know some people need two or three.
Mm-hmm.
So if
Usually,
he was here,
like I said, Becky is a phenomenon when it comes to cosmetic procedures.
that's because it's
she
all
loves
mental.
It. Yeah.
I'm like, I want this. I'm going to do good.
And I do think it was the 3 hours that you drove back.
I remember I stopped at a McDonald's and I won something, where you're like the 10th purchaser. You getting all these people are looking at me. I got these big bandages on my
They probably thought you
I'm like, no.
I didn't commit suicide.
I don't want the prize. I don't want the free Big Mac.
So that was it.
But
it
that's
took
a
about 3
really cool
sessions.
cosmetic
And
procedure that not a lot of people know about.
and a lot of people don't do them
Right.
to close them down permanently.
Yeah.
And it's a permanent thing. It's
I
not
don't
like
think there's
filler
any
that you have to
doctor
come-
here in South Florida that's doing that I know of. Nothing
You
I've
have to
heard
be
of.
careful. Once again, who you go to. Chris is an interventional radiologist, so he studied. That was his specialty. That's his fellowship. He's fellowship trained in how to access veins and close veins down. So he did that he studied that for 1.5 years. It wasn't like a weekend.
Yeah, and you'll find that like
course.
a lot of people do veins. Cardiologists do veins. Other doctors do veins. That's not what you want. you want to go to an interventional radiologist, and I think they're the best.
Someone
personally.
really very well trained. Who's has experience in it. Mm-hmm.
Okay, can I ask you about another thing that you had done in Tampa? You were telling me about the Femi lift.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Right,
Karen,
just jump right into Femi.
I'll tell you all about my cosmetic procedures. We'll talk about yours first.
All right.
Okay. What
You
is
tell me
the-
yours, I'll tell you
What
mine.
is the Femi lift?
The Femi lift is absolutely one of the most awesome things.
Okay.
Many people don't know about it. It's a procedure.
It's a
to
vaginal
rejuvenate. It's
lift.
It's to rejuvenate the inside of the vagina.
Right.
And what it does is it tightens the vagina up again, and with laser, and it does not hurt at all. I mean, not at all. You don't feel it. I
And
don't
it helps
understand
with leakage,
it does.
which you have 4 children. 2 are twins.
we had leakage.
I had 2 C-sections, so that's not my issue, but
It
it
does.
happens to a
And
lot of people.
My girlfriends and I have recommended it too, the Femi lift. They couldn't at first promote the Femi lift as a bladder control, but I can
Okay.
say it is a bladder control because I'm not a physician. And I have my other girlfriends who were having issues with the leaking, like not being able to do jumping jacks or not quite making it. It's just an issue that happens.
Yeah.
And as you get older, things happen.
All of our mothers deal with that.
Yes. Yeah. And so we had it done. Actually, after Isabella, I couldn't do jumping jacks.
Isabella
Isabella was my first, and I couldn't
Okay.
even do a jumping jack.
Oh,
at the
even
al-
after your
you
first
know?
baby. Okay.
And then, I would work on things, and then I would get it tight again, and then all of a sudden I'd have another child, and then
And then the
And
twins.
that was that's one of the things that happened when I found out I was pregnant with the twins. I was like, oh my gosh, I just had to the
There
point that I
goes
could
my bladder.
laugh and sneeze, and it was like that was like one of the thoughts. I could just start laughing again, and without all this contorting. So anyway, I had the Femi lift done, and the woman tells me that did it. She says, "Okay, drink this bottle of water and jump." And I
Right
thought-
afterward?
Right after.
Okay.
I get off the table, I get dressed, and she's like, "Drink this bottle of water." And I'm like, "This is crazy." So I thought, I excused myself, went to the restroom, undressed, drank the bottle of water, and jumped because I thought if I was going to have
You
an accident,
undressed?
I didn't want to have an accident all over. I didn't leak. It was great.
pretty amazing.
Right away, and you need a
And it's a
touch-up.
non-invasive procedure, right?
It's not.
It's just a little
No.
wand that
It's a wand.
emits heat.
They insert it. There's no pain. I know that laser on the face hurts.
Yeah, I got
There was-
that. But I liked
But
it.
there is, yeah.
I like
But
the result. not
This
the-
does not hurt at all. Mm-hmm. And at first, you need your initial visit. You need 3 every 3 months,
Okay, so you did it in a series.
a series of 3, and then after that, you just get a touch-up when you go back for your annual.
Well, I'm glad I'm talking to someone that actually had it done, because a lot of doctors are doing it and a lot of people are talking about it, but I haven't actually talked to a patient yet that had it done and was satisfied with
And
it.
all my friends that have had it
They
swear
all-
by it. Swear by it and
works well.
continue. Yes.
And they'll do it every year just to keep it up? Okay.
Yeah, and I really don't need it every year. But
You just had it once 2 or 3 years ago, right?
right.
Okay.
And, yeah, and I, but I haven't had it needed
Well,
to
that's
go in.
interesting. So it's called FemiLift.
It's called FemiLift. At the women's group in Tampa.
In Tampa, they offer it?
They offer
Okay.
it, and their price is $1,500.
It's not covered by insurance yet,
No,
is it?
it
See,
is
that's
not.
wrong. I mean,
Well,
why
it's
not?
a woman thing.
Yeah, I know.
If it was
we won't get into that.
Viagra.
Yeah, it'd be free.
It would be free. But actually, getting to that point, when Dr. Butler and her group were thinking about how to market it, and I had the FemiLift, and Dr. Butler had the FemiLift, and our husbands happened to be, because we're friends, and our husbands happened to be at lunch with us, and they're talking about how they were going to market it, and Chris and Bill both said, don't market it to the women, market it to the men, because it tightens everything up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
It does more than just help with the
yeah, it tightens
urinary leakage.
It tightens everything up.
Okay.
And it's back. It's back. It's
Okay.
back. And even our husbands felt like,
well worth the money?
oh, well worth the money. And so then it's like $500 every, when you have to go in for your touch up.
So that's once a year. So if anybody has that problem with urinary leakage, I'm sure it's very frustrating.
Or if you don't feel as tight as
Tight,
you do.
if you want to be tighter.
If you want to be, and,
Okay.
And, if if that's an issue,
Okay.
I would recommend the FemiLift.
Okay.
Definitely.
A satisfied patient.
Absolutely. And our husbands were too.
And okay, so it's
So
it's good for both.
it's good for both. So get him to pay for that one. while you're saving up your money for your cosmetic procedures, just put that one on his tab.
Okay, let's go to the next cosmetic procedure, which is omnipresent here in Boca Raton. I don't know anyone that does not do Botox. I don't know anyone. Tampa's probably not quite like Boca, but
Right.
I'm sure most of the people that
there's
you
a segment of that do Botox, and then there's some people that haven't. It hasn't hit.
it hasn't hit yet. Why do you think that is? I mean,
I don't know. I think
That's why
people
it's not universal.
some people feel like it's vain. Some people are scared of
vain?
it.
So
No pun intended. I don't know, or they haven't.
because
They
here,
don't-
even women in their 20s are doing it to supposedly
Yeah.
prevent wrinkles, and then
They'll
anybody
never know what they look like when they get
Yeah,
old.
they'll never have to.
They'll
they'll
never
never have to
know.
look in the mirror and see,
So-
see what they would have looked like. Yeah, so it's. I think the price has to come down a little bit before it becomes more mainstream. It's still kind of pricey, and that's
But
frustrating.
I swear by it. I started Botox because I was losing what I call my eyes. They were drooping, and I couldn't do my makeup. It wasn't my eyes weren't my eyes. So
Yeah, and a good injector can inject around the eyes to actually lift them. You think of Botox as relaxing,
Right.
but they relax certain muscles which allow
it
other
lifts.
muscle to pull up. So it's an art. So they can do that.
There, you have to be careful who you go to.
Oh,
Once
yes,
again.
yes. You don't want to get that Quasimodo eye. You ever seen anybody with that?
Gosh, yes.
The droopy
yes,
eye?
Yeah, you don't
Okay.
want that.
I know
No.
Dr. Boca that can correct that if anybody has that. Message me on Facebook. But yes, that's because when they inject around the eyes, it can migrate later and
Yeah, you.
and relax muscles that you don't want to relax. So that's very important to go to a good injector. But
right. But I think it's well worth it.
yeah, how often do you have to do it?
I go about. That's again every 4 to 5 months.
Yeah,
Sometimes people have to do it usually every 3 months.
I think so.
I
don't do it that
4 to 5
often, but I've
months.
had so much other stuff done that we don't need it as much.
Yeah, no, I don't do filler or anything like that.
You haven't done any
I
filler?
haven't done any filler. I haven't done any filler.
I don't want to say you look like you did because that doesn't sound good, but you don't have the marionette lines that most people would have. So you're very lucky. No filler? Are you lying to me, Karen?
No,
You sure?
Fritz doesn't.
Don't
no,
want
he
your
doesn't-
husband to know?
No, no. I haven't
Your
done filler. If I
secret's
did
safe
filler,
here.
yeah, sure.
You can tell
It's just-
anything here.
yeah,
It's
but
just
I've
you and
never-
I in here.
Yeah, just us.
Yeah.
I've I've never done. I haven't done filler. Mm-mm.
Okay.
Not that I'm opposed to it. Not
No,
that
I haven't done it.
When I do feel that I need it,
I
will
haven't done
be
it
in
since
there.
I did my face surgically because I don't need it, but I used to love it. I would do that twice a year. And they can do a lot with that. They can build out a jawline. They can lift, put in cheeks.
And I understand that if like you do the cheeks, it kind of pulls everything else up. So it kind of extends.
Right. Voluma, I think, is what they mainly use in the cheeks. It's been so long since I've done it, but that's what they were using then. And it just lifts everything. Yeah. Lifts the whole lower face.
I'm interested in that.
Yeah.
That I think I could.
You look pretty good, but
thanks. I could always do better.
That'll be your next step. So Botox and fillers are pretty common for everybody here in Boca Raton. Botox for people starting in their 20s all the way up. Fillers when women get into their 40s. It gives you some time between when you would need a facelift where you can pull everything back up. And it's amazing because I remember the first time I ever did Botox and fillers. I got in my car afterward and I was adjusting my rear view mirror to back out. And I was like, oh my God,
I look like,
who's that face?
I look like I did
my
a few years ago.
Yes. A long time. I mean, it's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's what happens is once you start,
you get addicted.
It's kind of intimidating.
Yeah.
Or you think
if people are afraid of needles, you got to get over that. And a lot of people are very scared of needles. Not me. I inject myself with all sorts of anti-aging medications and all. I'm not afraid of needles.
And we find we find that with people thinking about coming in for veins. They oh, I'm scared of needles.
I don't want the needles.
I don't want the needles.
And that's all needles. But those needles are
tiny.
Yeah.
And they don't hurt.
You don't feel them at all.
You don't feel them. They're smaller than the hair follicle. So they don't hurt. And if somebody is that nervous, they take a Valium just for that day.
Yeah.
Just that one.
To relax.
But after a lot of people have come in and thought, oh my gosh, I'm so nervous. And once Chris does the procedure, they're like, oh my gosh, this is nothing. So then they come in for the next one. It's like they feel so much better.
He did my legs. You don't feel those needles at all. No, and what a difference. None of my veins came back. Yeah, and that's the difference between a good doctor and a bad doctor.
Well, he closes the veins down.
Yeah, that was a few years ago. And I have girlfriends that went to other doctors, and they're like, in a few months, the veins came back.
Right, because if you don't go to someone who's good, and a lot of people just want to take out the greater esophagus, and then they leave all of. If you think about what he does, it's like a pine tree. So first you close down the trunk, but then you still have the branches.
Vein. Okay.
So then you have like the limbs. And then the little needles, those are the spider veins.
All the little spider veins.
And that he injects with foam. So he closes that down. A lot of places just close down the main vein.
And don't bother with the others. So they're still there.
Then you're left with the
little veins, the
spider veins and other things. Also places it's a lot faster is phlebectomy.
But, that's where they strip the veins, right?
That's gross.
Yeah.
I love the pimple popper, and I can watch pimple popping all day long. I cannot watch anybody doing a phlebectomy. On the video, if you look at it.
What does it look like pulling a worm out with a sewing?
With a knitting needle. A crochet needle. They make a cut, they stick the crochet needle, they pull it, and then they snip it.
Are doctors still doing it that way?
Some are still doing that way. If you have
if
anybody
you're not
run.
educated on this.
Right, run. Because you can close it down with foam.
Yeah.
And then it stays closed because if you think about that, what they're doing is another analogy, like of an iceberg. So when they're pulling that's just the tip of the iceberg. And the tip of the iceberg.
All the roots are still down there.
Everything is down there. So once that heals, those veins come back. And so that's why you have those people in a couple of years, they come back and it really doesn't look like anything was done.
I've known so many women that are
because
upset.
that's phlebectomy.
Okay, we're going to go to the break, and then Karen and I are going to come back for some more gossip. Okay, be right back.
Dr. Candace Colella of Colella Cosmetic Dentistry in Coconut Creek provides family and cosmetic dentistry for patients of all ages and is the only dentist in South Florida offering Solea laser dentistry. No pain, no anesthesia, no shots. With over 23 years of experience, Dr. Colella does fast braces, dental implants, veneers, and more. She can even finish off your smile with Botox, fillers, and lip augmentation. Call 954-428 888-778-6923 or visit yoursensationalsmile.com.
You've been listening to and watching The Becky and Boca Show. Ivy Lee's Luxe Makeup and Beauty Lounge in downtown Boca Raton does fabulous professional makeup application. Make an appointment today and see how glamorous you can look. Call 561-409-4065 to book your appointment. Ivy Lee's Luxe Makeup and Beauty Lounge is located at 233 South Federal Highway on the first floor of the Boca Grand Building in Boca Raton. The number again is 561-409-4065. And now, back to the show.
Hello, welcome back to the second half of the Becky and Boca Show. I am with my good friend Karen Gonzalez Pittman, good friend from college, and we're just gossiping about mostly about cosmetic procedures, vein work, all sorts of stuff. Let's talk about some interesting procedures that I witnessed recently.
Okay.
I took, Siggy Flicker. I went into the operating room with her last week when she had a procedure done to get rid of her love handles. And it worked.
I saw the before and after.
Yeah, I was in there with my my cameras and my cameraman and my microphone talking to the doctor. And it's radio frequency. It's a brand new machine called Skin Tight by InMode. And I was a little skeptical just because, I thought, well, she had 3 rolls that which she's not shy about talking about and showing, and she wanted to get rid of them. And I thought, well, we're going to see a little bit of improvement. But 2 days later, when we went back for the follow-up, they were gone. This was all flat. They were gone. And I saw them disappear in the OR. But again, I think it's the doctor you go to, because this was Dr. Art Handel, and he spent a long time on her, probably 4 hours, like 2 hours on each side, and went over and over the areas again and again until he got the result he wanted.
So is it like lipo?
Okay,
or is it cutting
what he
something
had to do
out,
first was you have to get the fat out of those areas. So he did lipo.
Okay.
And got all the fat out. But then the problem is you have the saggy skin, so it would just sag and roll over. And so then he used this new machine, which he makes a little puncture hole, and this little prong goes underneath the skin, and then like another one on top. And there's a disc here. So there's radio frequency being emitted from the top and the bottom. You can't see that. And then he pulls it back across the skin, and I could see the skin tighten up. And you could hear it sizzle like a burger on a grill, but getting tighter. And Siggy was awake during this. She was talking a little bit. They gave her Versed and some nitrous oxide, I think it is, that she controlled herself. And so she was very comfortable. And I just watched the skin tighten up. It was absolutely amazing.
Wow.
I would have been very skeptical if anyone told me that this worked and I didn't see it. But if anyone hasn't seen it, just go to Becky and Boca Show Facebook. It's also on Becky and Boca YouTube, and you can see the whole thing. Just amazing. But that's another procedure. And then last week, I went to New York to interview Dolores Catania. She's on Real Housewives of New Jersey. I think you met her at one of my events. And she did something really bizarre. People are doing really...
She was brave.
Really bizarre things out there, and those two will do anything. So she wanted to lose some weight, so she did the Obalon balloon system, which is she took these big capsules, really big, and with a little rolled up balloon in them, and they're attached to a catheter, and she had to swallow 3 of them, one at a time, by guzzling warm water, and they x-ray her to make sure that they're down in the stomach, and then they attach the catheter to like a bicycle pump, not a bicycle pump, but and they pump it up in her stomach. So she had 3 of these inside her stomach for 6 months. She lost 20 pounds. She looks amazing. A little bit drastic, I think, but effective. So there are all these things out there now.
There are side effects to that one. We were
not
reading.
with that company.
Not that, okay.
There had been, when with another company when they first started.
Okay, so this company.
But the thing is, she told me that at 6 months she wanted to keep them in because she was losing weight. She was able to do portion control, and she felt full. So when they wanted to take them out, she's like, no, I don't want to. But they were very adamant. They have to come out at 6 months. I guess if you leave them in longer, you can develop problems.
Does she still feel full now when she eats?
Well, she changed her whole diet because they sent her to a nutritionist while she had the balloons in to relearn her eating habits. So she has relearned them, but I would imagine she gets a little hungrier than she did when the balloons are in. So it's probably still going to be a bit of a challenge, but it was an effective way for her to lose these 20 pounds. Easy. She said it just came off, and she looks great. She looks great.
Does, she really
A little bit drastic, but but if you want to see that interview, you can also go to Becky and Boca Show Facebook page or Becky and Boca YouTube and see the whole interview. So there's lots of stuff going on. So how do you feel about all this stuff, Karen? Like, would you put balloons in your stomach?
No, I don't think I would put, no. I will exercise and no, I don't think I would. No.
Would you go to the OR and get your skin sizzled?
I would do that.
You do that one.
I would do skin sizzling.
Okay.
But no, something to tighten my skin, possibly.
Yeah.
But
And they can
swallowing,
use that-
ingesting balloons, I don't.
Yeah,
think I
that
would
one's
do.
a little scary. Yeah,
I
that's a little
think- and
scary. I'm surprised
I
she
like
did it,
doing it
but she did it.
naturally, like you portion control, because I'm so concerned about people that do these drastic measures and their behaviors really don't change. It's those drastic measures and
Right. Well, that's the whole idea, you know.
of the nutritionist.
Is changing your habits, and you have that tool while they're in there. So we'll see how Dolores does. I'm sure she'll do great. She's very happy. Totally changed her whole mood and everything. So it was interesting. And Siggy's happy with no love handles. So there's lots of stuff out there now.
I
Lots of things.
can't wait to find out more about the love handles.
Yeah.
'Cause-
And you know that particular piece of equipment can be used anywhere on the body. Saggy knees are a problem for a lot of people.
Yes, that is true.
It can be used in the knees just to tighten up the skin.
Well,
You wouldn't
they
have to
say
remove
that,
any fat there.
A sign of aging is the saggy elbow.
Uh-oh. I didn't look. Oh.
Yes, saggy elbows is the elbow thing.
Do I have it?
Yeah. Well,
Now I got one more thing to worry about.
one more thing. Find a good doctor
Dr. Handel.
that does the elbow.
I'm sure he'd do my elbows if I wanted.
Elbows. That's it. And once you know these things, like how do you tell the signs of aging?
Yeah.
Then you're so aware of
Other people.
people, like somebody that looks really great, and then you look at their elbows.
A
and you're
major sign of aging for someone with skin like mine are the brown spots. And mark my words, I'm going to get rid of all my brown spots. I've already started.
Good.
Dr. Handel has some kind of a light machine that's very effective, and I'm going to be doing that on my entire body.
Is it a
Do you
laser?
hear that, Dr.
The
Handel?
whole body.
Yeah, it's laser, and it feels. I guess I did it right across here. What do you call it?
Your décolletage.
Décolletage. Okay. Foie gras. Charcuterie. Okay, so
We're practicing in French.
yeah. So the little spots, okay? It feels like a little rubber band clicking, but I didn't really feel it at all. I mean, it didn't. Some people find it a little bit painful, but this new one he has had some kind of like an icing thing on the head, so
It would
it's cold.
cool it?
Yeah. So I didn't feel it at all. But and then within like a week or 10 days, a lot of the brown spots dissipated. I just haven't gone back because it's summertime.
Yeah.
And as much as I try to stay out of the sun around here, just walking from your car to the building, and if you have any sun at all, they can't do it. So I kind of probably have to wait till wintertime to do my whole body.
See, I can't with my skin tone.
Well,
I
you have
can't do
darker
laser.
skin.
I
You can't do laser?
but
Why?
I still get spots. The melatonin.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh, you poor
I'll
thing.
get dark. Yeah, so I have to find something else.
Really? Okay.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
can't do laser
No, not at all. You know, I
because
have
it'll burn. It'll
you know, I
it does
had
a
my
very-
whole face lasered off.
Yes, I remember that.
I came to Tampa.
Yes, I remember that. Yes,
You guys
we
were all
went
going to a hockey game, and I'm
we
like,
went to the
they're
hockey-
not going to a hockey game without me. But
So
I didn't
you
go to the
came
game.
and
But I
did
didn't go to the game.
pre-party. You did pre-party.
Yeah, because you didn't have a ticket for me.
Oh, you
Because
just showed up.
because you figured I just had my face
right,
done. I
so
wasn't
we
coming.
gave the ticket to someone else. We didn't know that you would have shown up.
I showed up, didn't
You
I?
did. You did. You were such a trooper, and you look great. You did. You look great. You didn't really look
Had a lot of makeup on. Yeah. You see me without the
Ivy
makeup.
and Lisa.
Yeah. Oh, Ivy and Lee's. They at Ivy Lee's Beauty Lounge is what we're talking about. We both had our makeup done there, but they saved me because I had my whole face done surgically, and then part of that was getting the laser. And you know, if I hadn't done the laser, it wouldn't have been a problem. I would have been out 2 days later. There is nothing. I mean, that surgery is not like it used to be. the problem was I burned all the skin off my face. So I would really scare somebody if they saw me. But I told Dr. Handel that we were going on air 2 weeks post-op. And he's like, no, you can't. You can't. I go, no, we're doing it. And then he said, okay. He was like a little bit leery because I was bright red.
Mm-hmm.
And I walked into the beauty lounge that day, and Ivy and Lisa both looked at me. And they're like, what? I'm going on air. You guys got to put makeup on me. So they both worked on me together. And I remember they were like
Spackling.
Yeah, like spackling, and pieces of my skin were falling off as they like put some on and it would fall. Then they had to spray makeup, and they got me looking normal. Mm-hmm. And I went on air.
I remember
and then
that.
Dr. Handel was like, whoa, I need the name of your makeup artist for my patients. Because then once you can put makeup on, you can go out.
Mm-hmm.
I went out 8 days after the procedure. I went to dinner by putting on my own makeup.
Well, and the beauty salon also did. Remember, Kim had fallen.
Yes.
And she was black and blue.
Bruised. Mm-hmm.
And we had an event that we were going to do, and none of us like missing the event.
No.
Black eyes, nothing is going to keep us down. Face falling off. We're going to be there.
I'm going to go there. Especially a hockey game.
Yeah.
No ticket, huh?
And after the hockey
I met you
game
afterward for drinks.
Right. But I remember when
I'm
Deb
so mad I couldn't
had
go.
just had her veins done, and then she went to the hockey game and she wore her compression hose under her holey jeans. So she had her
she was
compression hose under her holey jeans.
Can't keep us down.
No, nothing's going to stop us. But you can do things after a procedure.
Yeah, and no, wait. That brings us to this.
Oh,
you brought those in here, so I want you to
did.
show them.
Okay.
If you do get your veins done, you have to wear a compression hose for a certain period of time.
Well, and actually, it's a diagnostic tool to find out
Beforehand,
before and after. But before, the only way to tell if you have vein disease, it's not whether you have varicose veins or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because some people have some veins, and it's cosmetic. So there's two types of vein treatment. It's cosmetic and medical.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the only way you can diagnose whether is medical or cosmetic, and if it's medical, it's covered by insurance.
Right.
So most of the insurance companies want you to wear compression hose.
For how long? I remember I did that.
Depends on the
weeks?
insurance company,
Yeah.
like 6 weeks. They want you to try it. So you can buy an ultrasound and by wearing compression hose. So the ultrasound
You have to
tells
do both
you,
of them?
Yes.
Okay.
And so the ultrasound tells you how wide the veins are and the reflux.
Mm-hmm.
And that's another indicator. And each insurance company uses different criteria
Right.
for whether they're going to cover it or not. But it's based on how fast the blood flows back.
Right.
So, but one thing that Chris likes to use is compression hose. Because the insurance companies want to know, but if you feel better wearing compression
them
hose,
than without. Okay.
you definitely
There's
have
one
vein
caveat,
disease.
though, being in Florida.
It gets warm.
Wearing compression hose for 2 weeks, but I did it.
You did. Well, and in the fall, people think of compression hose.
cute,
That's why I
though.
brought
Yeah.
them.
You have nice ones.
We have.
So if you
there's-
time it for fall
yes,
or
time it
winter.
for fall. Compression hose aren't your grandmother's compression hose. Another thing you don't want is you have to be good compression hose, and there's only really 3 good companies that make them. There's Sigvaris, which is Swiss. They're all European. So this is like very she
Nice
compression
stuff, yeah.
hose. It's not, and they have to be measured and they have to be graduated, which helps the blood pump the blood back.
So these are,
Graduated. They start
Putting the-
tighter
okay.
in the ankle.
and what we're
get-
trying to do with these is mimic what would happen if they corrected your vein
Right.
disease. So you wear them for a couple of weeks, you feel better.
If you feel better, that means that
You
the
weren't
blood
getting
is
the circulation.
circulating is better, and that's why you're feeling better. I actually like wearing them when I go to work
I
out.
feel like I would feel good in them right now because my legs are a little sore from the gym.
I wear them when I work out, and I can do more exercises. And,
Yeah.
and my pikes and different things. Yeah,
I
it's
got
like-
that blood flowing right.
Yeah.
I wonder if I wore them running through
But
Boca
the reason
Raton
I
in this
brought
heat.
these is that they're not, they come in a
Let me see that.
variety of colors and thicknesses. These are the real thick ones. But
Okay.
you can get compression hose that are sheer. And these
Really?
come in these colors.
Like-
There's 3 different thicknesses.
Okay.
So you can get those sheer. So in the winter, I love wearing them with my boots.
Yeah.
I love when winter
Purple.
comes. They come in a variety. There's yellows and different things like that.
So
My
if someone
favorite-
were going to get their veins done at your place, you have all of that.
we have all of them. Mhm.
Okay.
And I have a pair that are really cool and chic. They're honeycomb. They're the
Cute.
Yeah, so they're awesome. And so they're not like you don't have to wear the ugly
Yes,
beige
I think-
ones.
Yeah, the beige, beige ones that our grandmothers used to wear. Yeah,
and men, they make them for like men's
oh yeah, compression
dress
socks. Mm-hmm.
And so
And men
we
feel
have-
a lot better when they wear those.
I feel better when I wear them. When I didn't really, it's like, yeah, compression hose, they make you feel better, right?
Yeah.
And I was at a conference and I was given a pair. And I put them on because I knew I was going to be traveling across the country. And I put them on and I was in the airplane and it was a long day and my legs felt great.
Felt good.
We went from Boston to Texas and had to run around airports and different things like that.
Yeah.
And normally it's exhausting.
So it makes a
and I felt
difference. That's
great.
one of those things that you don't really think about. You think, oh, they're socks. How could it make a difference?
And And I would have thought that. And so that's why I love my compression. And actually, Dr. Pittman feels that people should wear compression on airplanes.
My son worked for your husband for a while before he started med school. And I'll be with him somewhere like in a hair salon and he'll say, Mom, that woman's on her feet all day. She should be wearing compression hose.
And she would feel
Yes,
so much
that's what he
better. It
says.
sounds awful. I wish they would change the name to something kind of fun.
Right.
Because it just, compression hose just sounds
bad.
bad.
Yeah.
We have to come up with a euphemism.
Yeah. Come up with your own. Hey, there's a marketing thing there.
Yeah.
All right. I'll split it with you.
Okay.
50-50.
All right, Becky.
Okay.
So, but there is, and you feel better. And I
Yeah.
guarantee you, once you start wearing compression hose, I mean, I look forward to the winter so I can wear
So you
my
can wear 'em.
compression with my boots and different things. And
And
they're
you feel
so
better.
cute. And I have like lots of different colors. They even have fuchsia, baby blue.
Oh, wow.
I mean, it's like awesome.
Huh.
So,
Okay. So that's a cool thing I bet you people didn't know about. Mm-hmm. Okay. What else are we
Not
going to
as sexy as filler and Botox, but
No, but it's another
it's
tool
messy, and it's
to avoid regressing to the mean.
that's true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And there's so many things in Boca Raton now that I have two sisters that live up north, and they think all this stuff is silly. Mm-hmm. But when you live around here and everybody's doing it, and you see the results, and it's available, it's not so silly anymore.
No, and you feel better when you look better. You
Yeah.
don't feel
Right.
as haggard. I love my peels, my chemical peels.
Oh, chemical
for that
peels.
reason,
Yeah.
for that reason.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I glow after I have a chemical peel. And just
Have you
different.
ever tried the hydrofacial?
Yes,
Dolores swears by that. I got to try that.
I've had a hydrofacial.
And
I liked it.
Okay.
But I still swear by my chemical peels.
chemical peels.
And I use the Zeo peel.
How often do you do that?
That every 8 to 12 weeks. And I
Okay.
don't do it over the summer because your skin peels and you need to stay out of the sun.
Oh,
so
okay.
what I usually do is when I drop the kids off the first day of school and I head to my dermatologist and have my peel done and I start my peels. And about April, when we
stop.
start heading to the beach and things like that, I stop.
Interesting.
So
Okay. So you have a
that's-
whole beauty regimen
And
going
it's
on.
difficult to get the peels done because that you can't go out
You
with.
have to hide for a little while.
You do have to hide.
But you don't always hide. Remember when you came over here?
I don't.
I went to Tampa with my face raw, but you actually came over here once and did a vampire facial with Dr. Sindeldecker. And we went to look at a venue where we were having an event.
Yes,
And,
and
you walked in, and vampire facial, they put little puncture holes all over your face. And then they take blood out of your arm, spin it out in a, talk about doing severe things. Spin it out in a centrifuge.
Mm-hmm.
They get the platelet-rich plasma off the top, and they rub that into your bloody face. So you kind of looked like you had orange
I look like, what's that one?
jelly.
From Friday the 13th. Friday from Friday the 13th. His face is all red. I looked
But
like.
that didn't stop you.
I didn't stop.
We
me.
went to the
I went
furniture
shopping
store we did some shopping, and we went
at the furniture store where we're doing the venue.
and we were picking out a recliner for your husband. We had a party there, and I had her husband coming to do hand veins on a woman in Boca, and she was going to be the
Demonstrating.
model. So we were looking for a recliner, so we picked out a white one, and the person looks at Karen's face and says, "Is this going to be bloody?" No, why would you think that?
No.
And then you drove home, and you said you got out at a couple of gas stations, and people were scared of you at
People
night.
left me. It's a great strategy for keeping people away from you. Nobody came up to me, and then if they were going to walk up to me, they turned around. That was great. It's a great
Well,
safety tool.
after I did the laser peel, I was getting so thirsty for 7-Up and I was like home alone, and I couldn't go to Publix because I mean, this is like day or two after. So I started going to drive-throughs, and I wore like a baseball cap and put the the visor down.
Stick your hand out the window.
Extra large 7-Up, please. I'll take 5 of them. But no, because you can't. I mean, these things don't make you feel tired or anything.
No. And just with the peel, you know, it's about 4 days of peeling. You can hang out. The first 2 days, you're just tight.
And just
then
try to
once
lock me up in my house. I can't stay there more than 5 hours.
So, so you start peeling, but I just look at it as, hey.
And it goes on for a few days, and then you have all brand new
skin. I'm
skin.
going to look great afterwards. You know, my skin will look great after.
So if
my
you did
skin
it
will
on
be
Monday,
healthy
could you go out to dinner Friday night?
What was that?
If you did it on a Monday, could you go out to dinner Friday night? No.
I don't think so. No, because you have Monday, Tuesday that it's still tight.
Yeah.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
So if you do it on a Friday, can you still go out that weekend?
Yes.
And then on Monday you start to molt?
Friday and Saturday. And Sunday, I start molting. It just starts down here, and it starts popping.
But then by the next weekend, you're fine again.
Oh, my goodness, yes. And then your makeup goes on so much nicer.
How many times a year do you do this?
every 8 to 12 weeks, but only September, August.
Only during
only during school.
Certain seasons. Okay.
But it's difficult because you have to plan when you're going to peel. Like if you're always active and always out, you have to plan a week that you don't have anything going on because you can't go out really, to a function and peel.
I don't think I could not go out.
Well, and even if you put makeup on, your skin is peeling.
Full facelift and everything. I can't go out.
Yeah. You're peeling. You can't really. I mean, the makeup just people wonder what you have.
Yeah, I think you have a disease or something.
Mm-hmm. Then you're explaining all the time.
Okay, what about waxing?
Waxing.
Do you bikini wax?
I've never. No, I had laser hair removal.
Ah.
I swear by my laser hair removal.
Mm-hmm. Where?
Everywhere.
Okay, how many?
A lot.
No, how many treatments do you need?
A lot. I'm Mediterranean.
Oh, so you're basically
if I could,
a hersuit.
I could have been through the ice age and survived. It was intense. And
how many treatments do you think you did?
What
if you just wanted a bikini wax?
It's still
not a wax. I'm talking about permanent laser removal.
I guess most people 4 to 5 treatments, and
that's done.
And what I liked is at least if it did come back, it goes out. It comes in thinner.
Okay.
It's not as coarse.
Okay.
So it makes it. Then I'm normal.
I'm normal.
It used to be really bad. I used to have to plan when I was going to the beach, and then we're having guests over, so I'll just wear sarong, and then tomorrow I can shave and be out because you couldn't shave because it would just get bumpy, and it was literally it was awful.
But now you got rid of all your hair?
Yeah, and pretty much, and then even when it would
what if
come
it
back,
becomes
it would
fashionable
be thin.
again to have a big
I thought
bush like a tumbleweed?
I'll get. I think it is coming back.
I don't think so.
I think it's supposed to be coming back. I think that I heard that in New York they did little
I'm not growing one
on mannequins. I'm thinking really.
They did?
Yes.
I want to see that.
I'll just get a toupee. Which brings me.
How could a tumbleweed be attractive?
I had no idea. But Madison Avenue will sell it, and we'll all feel like we have to have one.
Imagine
I
that
can't
if you already
imagine.
had it all lasered off and you can't get one.
I know, I was worried.
Hair transplants.
But no.
Those work.
Yeah, but I'm not going to do that. No,
Okay.
It's like I will be out of fashion. My poor husband will just have to be like with last year's model. It's like, oh, but
You just get a wig to wear temporarily.
yeah, a little toupee if it comes back. But I don't think it's coming back. Anyway, with the bathing suits getting smaller and smaller, you can't really.
Maybe it's supposed to come out on the sides.
Oh, gross, Becky. But I believe in laser hair removal.
Yeah.
Oh, and it makes life so much easier.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, I used to have to shave every day, and my legs too.
Wow. Okay.
And if I shaved in the morning and I was going to be wearing capri pants or something with my ankles, I had to shave that night. It was
okay. So you don't.
I'm
and
Mediterranean.
What about waxing? That would be just
waxing. I would get the little pustules because
Bumps,
it would get the bumps, and that was awful.
Yeah.
So
okay.
I did that
laser's the answer for anybody that has
for Mediterranean, and I swear by it, and I wish I'd done it younger.
Really? Okay.
Mm-hmm. I wish I'd started younger.
Okay.
with my laser hair removal because it made life so much easier.
Yeah. Well, you have daughters now, so you can instruct them. How much? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Anything else we want to talk about?
I don't know.
We talked about footwear for a little while. Comfortable shoes, that's always a problem
Wedges.
for women. Yeah, I know. Wedges are
Wedges
better.
as how, I mean, I really don't wear a stiletto without a wedge. I have to.
Are you talking about without a platform in the front?
Without a platform.
Yeah.
Without a platform. I'm sorry, not wedges, but without a platform.
Yeah.
I find that it's easier. But I mean, I love gorgeous shoes.
I know, that's the
gorgeous shoes just
problem.
make everything look.
I know.
Finish an outfit.
Yeah. Don't you hate those women that can wear those little skinny stilettos and
Yes.
walk normally
Walk
all
normally.
evening?
Yes. It's like,
How do they do that?
I don't know.
I interviewed a podiatrist on here. I was asking for tips on that too. And there's some doctor that I talked to had a procedure where they take like fat out of your belly and put it in the balls of your feet.
oh, really?
Yeah, that's out there.
That's out there. Wow.
Haven't done that yet.
And the balls to give you like your own little pads?
Extra cush, yeah.
I just buy the gel, the Scholl's, Dr. Scholl's gel.
Yeah, but
and-
imagine if you didn't have to. They were
And that
just
would
on
be
your
great.
feet. Yeah. You want to be my guinea pig? I'm looking for someone to try it.
Now that I can do because I cannot wear high heels without a platform.
Yeah. So if you had your
If I
own
had-
little pad
if I
under
had
the
my
ball
own
of,
little pad.
of your
Yes.
feet. Yeah, why are you grimacing?
I'm like going, oh no. I can just
It's
see.
doable.
Yeah, I can just see Chris going, oh my goodness.
Yeah. Okay. We only have a couple of minutes here.
So
And you're off to Miami after this, right?
Yeah,
Your boys
yeah.
are in a sailing regatta or something like that?
they're taking a sailing camp down at the
Cool.
U.S. Sailing
Oh, how
Center.
fun. How fun.
With
How old are they now?
they're 14. They're identical twins.
Yes, they are. Do they look exactly alike?
They do. I mean, I can tell them apart, but
Most people
most
can't?
people can't.
Oh, the fun they're going to have with girls when they get a little older. Oh,
Yeah.
Oh,
they
my
are,
goodness.
Yeah.
think of the
No,
possibility.
I'm not. I don't want to think of that. But yeah, no, they're having fun and they are
Yeah.
getting.
What kind of sailboats are they learning on? Like little sunfish or bigger ones?
They when they're in regattas, they're in C20s. Now I'm like getting brain C20s. I think
I don't know.
C40. I don't even know.
Okay.
This is awful. I know usually, but I'm on the air and I'm like having a brain moment.
That's okay.
But now this summer they're training in all kinds of.
All different sailboats. Oh, so they'll be very skilled
Yeah.
sailors when they're older. They can
Yeah,
take
so
those
they can
women
take us
on
out.
dates together
Thank you,
and
Jackie.
swap out.
Thank you, Becky.
Swap out guys.
Oh, good.
Okay. All right. I'll see you next week. I'm going to New York
Bye-bye.
again this weekend
All
for
right.
Molly Hillenbrand's birthday party.
Fun.
Yeah, yeah.
That's great. On a terrace on a.
On the rooftop.
On a
Yes,
rooftop.
and there's going to be a full moon.
That's gonna be a beautiful
Yeah.
picture.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
You have been watching and listening to The Becky and Boca Show. Tune in every Thursday night at 6 p.m. to discover all the ways to spoil yourself and have a good time in beautiful Boca Raton. See you next week.
The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program.
Travelers 411 with Stephanie Abrams each Sunday night from 5 to 7 p.m. on AM 1470 WNN.
Talk 1470 is WWNN Pompano Beach and 95.3 FM W237BD Boca Raton, the Health and Wealth Radio Network.
Gallbladder problems, gingivitis, a bad back, indigestion, fatigue, low libido, not sleeping well, need to lose weight. Just some of the topics you'll hear about. Hi, I'm Dr. Bob Martin. Join me Sunday mornings at 10 on Talk 1470 WNN.
It takes a whole lot more effort to get something started in your life than it does to keep it moving.
Del Walmsley has moved thousands of radio listeners closer to a great life. The Del Walmsley Show is now on in South Florida on Talk 1470, Monday at 5, Tuesday through Friday at noon. Listen and move towards your great life today.
A healthier you is the first step toward a healthy baby. When planning a pregnancy, baby steps toward better health can deliver big results. Exercising regularly and eating a balanced diet will help you reach or maintain a healthy weight and increase the likelihood of a healthy baby. Taking a multivitamin containing folic acid every day helps prevent birth defects, and regular medical and dental checkups are especially important when planning for pregnancy. To learn more about taking your baby steps toward a healthy pregnancy, call Florida's Family Health Line at 1-800-451-2229.
Talk here. Talk there. Talk 1470 AM and 95.3 FM. The Health and Wealth Radio Network. WNN.
Live a more conscious life by joining other like-minded individuals and businesses, as together we create a more conscious community connection with Conscious Co-op South Florida. The Conscious Co-op meets monthly at the Boca Raton Wyndham Hotel with a catered gourmet vegan lunch by Farmer's Table. These meetings feature guided meditations and a wellness-minded speaker always dedicated to educating on a more conscious way of living. For more information, visit noahcrane.com. That's NOAHCRANE.com, or call 561-774-1991.
Hello, my name is Noah Crane, and I am a life and relationship coach. How would you like to create more love and peace in your life today? Have you ever met someone and had a deep connection right away? Do you want to experience that feeling all the time? I can guide you step by step to a deeper sense of love and fulfillment and teach you how to sustain it. Call me at 561-774-1991 or email me at info@noahcrane.com. You can also visit my website, noahcrane.com, NOAHCRANE.com. I really look forward to connecting with you. Have a beautiful day. Hello everyone, my name is Noah Crane. Welcome to Create Your Greenest Grass. Connect with me each week to create a life you love. Now, let's get started.
Hello, and welcome to Create Your Greenest Grass, where we don't live our life to chance, but rather create a life we love. My name is Noah Crane, and I'm super excited to be here with you today. To tell you a little bit about myself, I'm the author of the book, The Grass is Greenest Where I Am, which should be out soon. My book speaks about no comparison, no competition, and no scarcity. Learning to live in our own love and light and sharing our unique gifts in the world. Because I believe each one of us has a unique gift to share. And when we're able to figure out what it is, then we're able to bring it to the world and make this world a better place. And we do that by supporting each other and loving each other and bringing connection with each other. Because the power is in our connection with each other. It's not in the separation. So I'm all about helping people find connection. And because of that, I created an incredible group called Conscious Co-op. Conscious Co-op meets once a month at the Wyndham Hotel in Boca Raton for an incredible lunch. It's in the ballroom on the second floor. I bring all the conscious souls, conscious like-minded people together. We come together and we create just a lot of great energy, love and light together. We always have meditation with Sunny Arfa from Feel Great Meditate, and we always have an inspirational speaker. Our meeting is actually tomorrow, July 27th, Friday, at the Wyndham Hotel in Boca Raton, 1950 Glades Road. So it's a very exciting day from 11:30 to 2. You're welcome to join us. It's just $30 if it's your first time at the door. Includes lunch, includes the connection, includes everything with it. And you'll have an amazing time, and it's an incredible event. If you want to come, you can also register on my website, noahcrane.com. That's NOAHCRANE.com. We have a great show planned for you today. I have an incredible guest. Her name is Rebecca Klaus. Kalus. I said it wrong. Kalus. And she is the founder of Elevated Health. Rebecca, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
Thank you. I'm so happy you're here.
Yes. And I'm excited to go to Conscious Co-op tomorrow as well.
I know, me too. I'm super excited you're going to be with us. Thank you. It's the first time.
It's my first time tomorrow, yeah.
You'll have a great time, guaranteed. I wanted to start off by having you tell us a little bit about what you do and a little bit about yourself.
Sure. Well, my name is Rebecca Kalous, and I founded my company Elevated Health a year and a half ago to empower people with their health by providing the most efficient tools and education for people to use from the comfort of their own home. So I've always been interested in all aspects of health, specifically holistic health, but I'm really passionate about helping people elevate all aspects of their health, but specifically in a physical way.
That's beautiful. Can you tell us a little bit about the therapy that you do?
Yes. So one of the main things that I work with is a therapy called Calmra therapy. So it combines a combination of infrared laser with magnets, low-level ultrasound, and full-spectrum LED all in the same device. So those each have their own individual healing properties, but together they have a very synergistic effect. So it's that combination that makes it so effective for pretty much any health condition you can possibly think of, all with non-invasive device that you can use from the comfort of your own home. So I've been working specifically with this therapy for over 3 years now. I was the VP of a wellness center. That's how I found this therapy. And then when I just got to see the most amazing recovery stories, and when I realized you could use this from home, I was like, I need to reach so many more people. So many more people need to know about this. There's so many people that are suffering from so many things that they don't have to be. So that's really why I started my company, is to reach all those people to help them elevate their health from the comfort of their own home.
I love that. And we all have, I was just talking to you before, how we all have some kind of health issues, some kind of injuries. You've had your own as well.
Absolutely. So for me, I was a collegiate volleyball player. I had to stop playing for 2.5 years though because of my shoulder. I did physical therapy, saw multiple chiropractors. It helped a little bit, but definitely not enough for me to play volleyball, and even just daily activities would hurt. And then I started working with this clinic and started using Calmra, and I haven't had any pain in over 2 years now, specifically on my shoulder.
Wow.
And that's one question that people ask me. They're like, okay, so when you treated your shoulder, how many days in a row did you treat before you felt something? And I was like, or what protocol did you follow? I think that was the question I was asked the other day. And I was like, I just treated myself sporadically. Do as I say, not as I do. So I just, with sporadic treatment, one day I had someone ask me if I wanted to play volleyball, and I was like, I haven't had any pain in a long time, let me give it a shot. And I went out and I played, no pain. That was February 2.5 years ago now. I've had no pain since.
Yes, what are some of other conditions that people treat themselves with your laser?
So people who have used Calmra therapy have used it for any range of conditions. So joint pain, back pain, any kind of nerve damage, skin conditions, autoimmune conditions. So anything, tendinitis, I'd say is one of the easiest things to address with Calmra therapy. I've had a few people that they've only needed one treatment with the professional grade, but things that are autoimmune related or seriously structural, for example, a herniated disc, those are going to take significantly longer. So if you think about it, those didn't occur overnight, so it's not going to be an overnight fix either.
Right. Can you tell us about the laser itself? Because I see you have 2 different kind of lasers.
Sure. So there's 2 main two main devices that utilize Calmra therapy. So this is the Calmra Palm. This device is great for anyone who has carpal tunnel, tendinitis, like I said, that's pretty simple to address, or migraines. We were talking about migraines earlier.
Yes.
Primary headaches is also one of my favorite things to address, just because it's something that so many people think that there's nothing for. There's so many people that they've tried everything and nothing alleviates their migraines. This is absolutely amazing for migraines. There's some case studies that are just mind-blowing.
That is exciting.
Yes. So the professional grade, this is literally the most effective home health device in the world. So I actually found out recently definitively that I had a chiropractor who had a really severe shoulder tear, and he was treating, laser therapy is really commonly used with physical therapists and chiropractors. So this chiropractor, he was using a $40,000 class 4 laser, and he was trained by an expert, so phenomenal device, great training. Was treating his shoulder, was getting better after a month, but not fast enough, so he used this, and in 2 weeks he experienced significantly better results with this than the $40,000 Class 4 laser.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So the difference, like you asked, between these two, so the professional grade, like I said, it's 4 modalities. It's infrared laser, magnets, low-level ultrasound, and full-spectrum LED. So the Palm does not have ultrasound, and it's a different nanometer of laser. Basically, the bottom line is that the professional grade is about 8 times faster, more efficient healing than the Palm. The Palm is still going to be more effective than anything you're going to find under, say, a couple grand, but the professional grade is literally as good as you can possibly get.
That's awesome. What are some of the conditions like sciatica that we were talking about? How does it work for those conditions? Because I know so many people, including my mom right now, that suffers from sciatica.
So sciatica, I love working with anything nerve related. So during treatment, it's stimulating regeneration of the nerve itself, the myelin sheath, and so it's much more common for somebody to feel something during treatment with any kind of nerve damage versus without. I'll give you the example was I was treating your shoulder earlier, and for most of the time I was treating you, didn't really feel anything, but with it, I was treating someone with nerve damage in her shoulder, and she felt tingling down her whole arm on almost every point that I hit. So that's the difference between someone who has nerve damage versus not. Specifically with sciatica, most of the time it's caused by inflammation of the piriformis muscle, and so what this is doing is it's decreasing the inflammation of the piriformis muscle, so that's loosening up. It's no longer putting pressure on the sciatic nerve. If it's been a prolonged issue where it's caused damage to the sciatic nerve, it is going to regenerate the myelin sheath as well. So that's another thing that people ask is, is this kind of masking anything, or is it long term? Because it's operating on a cellular level, it's addressing the origin of the issue. Okay, so it's increasing, on a scientific level, it's increasing ATP production, which basically is the fuel of every type of living cell. So every cell in the body, this is helping to operate more efficiently. Because in order to understand what this therapy is doing, you have to understand that the body has the ability to heal itself.
Absolutely.
So we're just made up of trillions and trillions of cells all communicating infinitely together. And so it's not, yes, it's increasing blood flow, stuff like that, but when you're operating on a cellular level, it's really helping every aspect of the body function more efficiently.
That makes a lot of sense. What are common questions people ask you about the laser, or also people that have had really good results? What are some of the results or common questions that are asked?
Sure. Okay, so those are 2 different questions.
Yes.
The first one, in terms of questions that people might ask, we address is it a long-term thing or not? Yes, that is ideally, it should be long-term because it's addressing the origin of the issue. Another thing that people ask is, can this cause any damage? The only contraindication is a pacemaker, just because there are magnets, so you keep it roughly a foot away from the pacemaker if you have one.
Right.
Other than that, there are no contraindications. You cannot cause any damage with this treatment. And then in terms of feedback of what people
some of the results people have had that you personally have shared with you, because we talked, you said that everybody who buys it has been really happy with the product.
Yes.
And I'm sure you're getting a lot of great feedback.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I absolutely love what I do, because I, when we were talking about that earlier, I said that, I'll get, sometimes I'll look at my phone and I'll get text messages from clients and they'd be like, oh my gosh, like all my arm pain is gone. Like, I can't believe that happened. This is so amazing. And it's just like, I get messages like that all the time. And I'm like, I love what I do.
Right.
Because it's just, to be able to get that kind of a reaction from so many people is just, it's such a beautiful thing, because you're really giving them their life back.
Yes.
People that they couldn't do all these things before, and now they can. Tendinitis was one of the easiest things to address. This one was a friend of mine. He had a really inflamed IT band, so it's a muscle on the side of your leg, and he was limping up to my place. He'd been limping for about 2 weeks.
Wow.
Came to me for treatment. Wow. I treated him for about 18 minutes. He stands up, and at first he's like, kind of steps on it tentatively, and then he starts stomping on it, and then he starts dancing a little jig, and he's like, okay, so you're my friend, so I was going to boost your ego, but I literally have no pain right now. That was in October.
Yes.
He still has had no pain.
So cool. And you were doing the laser on my right shoulder, and you neglected my left shoulder. And I think she did it for a reason, right?
Yes.
And I really do feel a difference because I'm really tight. My neck and shoulders, I hold a lot of tension like most people do, right in their neck and shoulder area. And I feel more relaxed on my right side than my left side right now. So I'm like, when is she going to do the left side? Because I really do feel a difference. Do you do that a lot with people to see the difference between the two sides?
Anytime someone, shoulders, knees, those are really common things that people usually have pain on both sides. And I'll always ask them, okay, well, which one hurts more? And I'll only treat that one just to give them a comparison. Anytime someone comes to, anytime after treatment, someone's like, okay, well, I kind of think I might feel a little bit of a difference. I'm like, I don't even want to hear it. Not until it's absolutely very noticeable. It's a significant difference. I want to make sure that you know that this is working beyond a shadow of a doubt. This is not placebo. This is actually really addressing the origin of your issue. But with something like your shoulders, that's the most common thing to feel right after treatment is just a general looseness. Kind of like things are just, it's just
like after a
easier.
massage.
Yeah.
Like more relaxed, you know?
Yes.
And I literally go for massage every 2 weeks. And the main reason, 2-hour massage.
Oh my God.
And yeah, every 2 weeks. And the main reason I go is because my neck and shoulders. I hold so much tension in there. And when I get it, it's almost like a relief. And I feel that relief just from you doing the laser. So I could save a lot of money now. Yeah,
so I have a personal story on that one because I mentioned my shoulder pain, but I have scoliosis, and so that's your curvature of the spine, which your spine is the core of your physical being.
Right.
And so when that's out of alignment, your whole body is being pulled in wrong directions. So it causes issues throughout your whole body. And so before this therapy, I had pain 24/7 in my neck and shoulders. Most of the time it wasn't too bad. I'd say on a scale of 1 to 10, it was usually like a 2 or a 3, except for a couple of days out of the year. There's maybe like 1 or 2 days out of the year I'd be just down for the count and couldn't function. But for many years, I got regular acupuncture, massage therapy, and saw many chiropractors. And I didn't know how I could function without seeing all those practitioners. I haven't seen any of those in a long time.
Wow.
And 95% of the time I have no pain anymore in my neck and shoulders. And I really don't treat that often. I just I use it whenever I have pain, and it immediately loosens things up. I'm very spoiled with the professional grade. It just, if it doesn't work instantly, if I don't alleviate the pain instantly, I get annoyed because I'm so used to that being the case. One time I had something really serious going on and I only had the palm with me, and for tendinitis, like I said, that's really a simple thing to address, but for this one issue it was really severe and I was treating extra with the palm and I was like, why is it not going away immediately? Because I'm just so spoiled with the professional grade.
It's good to be spoiled.
Yes.
It's a good thing. Most people, in how long can they expect to see results?
So everyone should have a response in the first 3 to 4 weeks. So sometimes that's after one treatment, sometimes it takes the full 4 weeks for someone to experience some kind of noticeable difference. What that looks like exactly depends on the person, the condition, how long they've been experiencing it for, is it autoimmune related? There's so many different variables, it's hard to give like a cookie cutter answer to that, but everyone should have some response in 3 to 4 weeks. If they don't, please call me. I take it personally when someone doesn't respond, okay? Because if someone doesn't respond during that time frame, it just means that we need to tweak something with the protocol. Best example I have for that, I had a woman who had bursitis in her hip, and I did a poor job on following up with her. That was my mistake, but she didn't reach out to me until it had been 7 weeks, and she had no response in 7 weeks. So we were just having her treat locally. When she called me and told me that, I had her treat systemically. I don't want to go okay, I'll get into that in a minute.
That's okay,
We'll get back to that.
Definitely.
But it's really important to address things from a systemic standpoint as well. So once we added that, for those of you who aren't health-related, systemic just means, for example, treating certain immune points, treating the central nervous system, things like that. Once we added that in, she had a response in days.
Wow.
And then it was a little bit of a response 3 days after we added that, and then a very significant response, I think, about a week after we added that.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
What if it doesn't work for me? Does it happen where it doesn't work for someone?
So everyone who has used this sufficiently responds. Now, if there happens to be somebody where that's not the case for, I do have a money-back guarantee. So I feel very comfortable offering that because if you're using it, shouldn't be necessary. But if I eat my words for any reason whatsoever, someone is using it and they're not responding in 90 days, we've communicated, so I know you're using it, we've adjusted the protocol, it's still not working. If for whatever reason there is somebody in that category, I give a full money-back guarantee because that's how confident I am in this therapy.
That's amazing.
And this therapy has been around since 2009, and anyone who has used it sufficiently always responds.
And where did this therapy come from?
So the manufacturing company, they're based out of the U.S. Their main address is in Slovakia. The people behind it are in a handful of different countries. It's picking up a lot of traction in a few different countries in Europe, but it's still fairly unknown in the United States. I'm actually the only full-time distributor in the United States.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So I work directly with the manufacturing company, Radiant Life Technologies. They are just a beautiful group of people. It's really an honor to work with them. They're really the most amazing community of individuals I've ever met.
That's very special.
Yes.
It makes it all worthwhile, right?
It does. I really think that that's a large part of why this therapy is so amazing is because of the people who are behind it. So,
it's always that way, right?
I
It always
fully
comes
agree.
from the top. If the top is great and in alignment and authentic and comes from a really good space, it trickles down.
Always.
And yeah, I love that. It's just how it works. And it's beautiful that you connected to it. Can you tell us about the special you're having with the lasers?
So
just for today.
I've really stopped giving discounts because, like I mentioned earlier, I found recently that it not only is it the most effective home health device in the world, but it outperforms even Class 4 lasers that are $40,000. So for $2,600, it's I only feel comfortable offering things that are where the value so far exceeds the monetary price, which both the Palm and the professional grade both absolutely fall in that category. So normally I've really stopped offering discounts and stuff like that, but since this is my first time on Noah's show, just as a thank you for anyone who purchases tonight, so by the end of the show, go on my website, we'll go over all that at the end, but anyone who buys the professional grade, the Comrade Delta Pro, I'm including the $400 Palm for free.
Wow.
Okay.
That's amazing.
Yes.
You could use both, and you could keep one in your purse.
Yes. So that was something that you asked me before the show, and you were like, okay, well, why does someone need both of them? The Palm has been out for a year, and before it came out, I always had, I would always take this one with me. Now, it is completely portable. It's a portable battery pack. This is a USB port, so it's very easy to take with you anywhere you go. But it's still, there's still a little bit to it, and so now that the Palm is out, the professional grade stays by my bed. I use it in the morning and at night, and when I leave the house, I take the Palm with me. As you can see, it's smaller than a cell phone.
Yeah.
So very easy to slip in a pocket. It actually fits in jean pockets, female
awesome.
jean pockets. It's an amazing concept.
That's great. So how do people get in touch with you who want to use the laser? They've never tried it. What if they want to try it? Or how do they reach out to you? I know your phone number is there, but is there any other thing that they should know? Your website? Or?
Sure. So phone number, I'll just say it out loud for anyone listening. It's 561-989-4298. That's the direct number to get a hold of Elevated Health. That usually gets directly to me. And then website is www.myelevatedhealth.com. And that will be listed. So for anyone, you can go on Noah's Facebook on the website. You can see that link there. So in terms of people trying it, if I meet, we're in person right now, I do demonstrations anytime that I see somebody, and I love doing that. I love meeting with people, getting to see people experience that relief right away. The reactions never get old. But as far as trying it before you buy it, I really try to get people to really understand that there's really no risk in buying it because there is that money back guarantee. So if you buy it, it doesn't work for you, you get a full refund. Like I said, I've never had that happen. So I want people to feel confident with their purchase. If they're not confident for any reason, if there's questions that I need to answer, I'm happy to do that. I really, really love what I do. So anytime that I can, help someone feel more comfortable with their purchase, I'm always happy to do that.
I feel your passion. And your passion it's contagious. It's so beautiful. And you're so beautiful. You really are. I wanted to say when we started, I have Miss America here instead of, but I'm like, okay. But yeah, I mean, you're really, I love that you're so passionate about what you do because you feel it. You really feel your love and how much you believe and how much it has helped you as well. There's also an app you can download. Can you tell them about the app?
Yes. So there used to be a book that would come with it. I do have it with me for anyone who's watching this. But the book no longer comes with it. What they've switched to now is an app. Everything's mobile these days. Yes. And so if you go open up your app store, if you type in COMRA user guide, that's COMRA, then the app that's works with this, it pops up. So it's all the protocols that were in the book and more, and they're constantly being updated. So there's a few hundred protocols on there. So this therapy, it's very, very easy to use. The device itself is very simple. The protocols are very user friendly. There's also, when you open up the app, there's a search bar. Now you can type in certain conditions. Not everything is going to pop up as what you might think intuitively. For example, we were talking about headaches before. If you type in headaches, nothing pops up, but migraines, there's 2 different protocols. There's also on the bottom it says treatments, and if you hit that, then it's a bunch of sections that pop up. The first section that on that list says universal treatments. There's 8 protocols on there. They're called universal treatments because they're good for everybody.
2 minutes.
There's 2 on there specifically that everyone should be using on a regular basis. So universal 3 and universal 5, but I know we're getting close to the end here, so that's one of those things that I do have some information on my Facebook page. It's facebook.com/myelevatedhealth. But I also like to go over that in person with everyone to make sure that they're getting the most out of their therapy.
So they get to talk to you personally.
Yes.
Connect with you.
Yeah, I'm always
beautiful.
happy to speak with people.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Rebecca, for being on my show. I'm truly grateful for our connection. I'm truly grateful for you. Please remember the mantra, the grass is greenest where I am. The grass is greenest where I am, because it really is. Take care of your life, take care of your health, be good to yourself, and be mindful. And call Rebecca, because she's amazing. And I'm ready to buy the laser too, so I'm very excited. Till next time, have a beautiful evening. Namaste.
Thank you so much for tuning in today. Remember, the grass is greenest where you are. Tune in next week as we keep exploring and finding and recreating a life we love.
One tap creates a virtual wine fine tuner. Another, a coffee refiner. A beauty cream and makeup enhancer.
Wow. Look at your eye.
What a difference. And with still just a tap, a strength and flexibility harmonizer.
Yeah, I definitely felt something different.
This is the Vitalizer. In the App Store on any smartphone, a simple download that will embed specific frequencies and vibrations into your phone's light photons and sound waves. Calibrations designed to affect taste.
The Vitalizer one is better than the other one, for sure.
Hydration, absorption, feel silkier, and perhaps most incredibly, your strength, flexibility, and energy. Amazing.
Wow.
Crazy.
Well, salud. I'm loving it.
Go to www.vitalizerapp.com and make your smartphone brilliant.
The opinions expressed on the following sponsored program are strictly those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
Hi, this is Faith. Welcome to the Faith Washington Show. We will discuss life, business, leadership, family, and fun, and what happens when your view of the world expands. A wide variety of guests will provide insight on how they do business, family, and leadership in their lives. So now, here's today's show.
Mic open.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us here on the Faith Washington Show. We are live on Facebook, Periscope, 95.3 FM, 1470 AM, and the iHeartRadio app, WWNN. Welcome, everyone. I have a really special guest tonight. This is Carolyn Zahlmeyer. And Carolyn, since I didn't write anything down, I'm going to let you introduce yourself and tell us about what it is that you do. It's pretty amazing, folks.
I'm Carolyn Zahlmeyer, nurse practitioner, and I see patients daily for bioidentical hormone replacement therapy. I started in gynecology and started to see how women were suffering through the menopausal years. Started with the synthetic hormones.
Even before menopause, pre.
And found that we had a solution, that we could make women and men feel better as time goes on. Because as we age, we naturally lose our hormones. Our bodies stop producing both testosterone and estradiol, and we found if we can bring those levels back up to where we were maybe 10, 15 years ago, that you feel better, your energy is better, you sleep better, you just feel better about life, you have a better interest in sex, have sex more often.
Wait, what's the title of the show? Sex after 40. That's what we're going to talk about, folks.
And better sexual satisfaction.
No,
You
really?
think about sex a little bit more, and when you do have sex, it's like the fireworks are brighter. And many of my patients are saying that sex is even better than it was before when they were younger. So it's a fun chapter of our lives. It doesn't have to be sitting on the lazy boy watching TV anymore.
Really? Mm-hmm. You think?
I think. I know.
Think. You do. Yeah, because you've had thousands of patients come through, and you've been able to really discuss this with them and help them. And I think a lot of it is word of mouth, too.
Absolutely.
Carolyn, with your business, and her business is actually in Fort Lauderdale. So patients will come to see you, they get a great result. About how long does it take once they've been pelletized?
It's really interesting because people will ask me, how soon will I feel the effects? And I've gotten many phone calls the very next day after we implemented treatment, and they say that they had slept better than they had in years. And just think about it, if you don't have a good night's sleep, it's so hard to have a good day. It's hard to feel good about anything.
Well, especially if you have children. You have a job, you have a business, you have multiple things that are going on in your life, and you have a spouse.
Mm-hmm.
You know something? When you feel crappy, you don't want to do anything. And that was something that we put in the post, is that if you don't feel great, you don't really want to have sex.
No, and then if you don't feel great, if you're not getting your sleep, if you don't have the energy, you don't feel like exercising, making better food choices, so you don't feel sexy, you're not rocking it. And so what we try to do is turn back the clock where you get your mojo. Get your mojo back. Exactly. Get your swagger, and where you feel better, and so life is better.
Yes, agreed. Yeah. And I think that the difference that you're making in people's lives, one person at a time, one family at a time, really makes an impact on our society too, because we really are all about what is right in front of us. It's the phone.
Yeah.
The phone, the computer, your work, your employees, or the people that you work with, and it's just almost impossible when you feel like you're just spinning out of control.
Well,
especially, and I'm going to say this right out loud, especially for females.
Mm-hmm.
We have to multitask. We have so many things to do.
Right.
Normally, and I'm going to just normal, most men are going to go to work, and they're going to spend their day working, or they're going to go to their business, they're going to work, and then they're going to come home, and by the time they come home, the wife has worked, taken care of the kids, done the shopping, done the cleaning, cooking, getting things ready, and they're exhausted. So by the time the end of the evening comes, they're ready to just shut down and say, you know what, I love you, baby, but
but think about it from the man's perspective.
Which is horrible.
I've been told I have a man's brain.
And I do too.
After working hard, providing for their family, they come home and they expect some love and attention.
Right, because, and rightfully so. I think that is not an unreasonable expectation.
And what I find is I've had patients tell me, more than one, several in tears, that they had wished that their hormones had been optimized before they got divorced, that they felt that both them and their partner would have benefited from hormone optimization because they feel more like their old self. The people that got married, back to the old you, not the tired new you.
And that's not fair to either party. It's not fair to the men, it's not fair to the women, that if you are not engaged and you don't feel sexually active or like you want to engage your partner, it takes something away from that relationship.
Oh, you have to have intimacy to maintain the relationship. Without the intimacy, it's hard to keep a relationship going.
It's impossible. You can't.
Yeah.
Men are very visual, sexually driven creatures. It's not that it's a bad thing.
Right.
It just is. So if you go with what is and work with that and get the bioidenticals, then you're improving that intimacy in that relationship.
Well, I've worked a lot with Suzanne Summers, and one of her sayings is that if more people had hormone optimization, we'd have
fewer divorces.
Well,
did you hear that? Fewer divorces.
Fewer
folks.
divorces, less war, and everybody would just get along better. And it really is interesting that people are kinder to each other when their hormones are optimized. All this road rage and everything.
You're absolutely right. I don't think that can be overstated.
Yeah.
I think that there's a lot of that goes on that we don't even put a thumb on.
Yeah.
We don't give it any credence.
Yeah.
But people are upset. They're angry because their lives are screwed up. They're messed up.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to feel that way.
No, I remember before I optimized my own hormones, my goal at the end of the day was to feed and walk my dogs, put my jammies on, pour a mug of wine, and hit the couch. I was just beat. I didn't want to go out. I didn't want to do anything.
Right, and the alcohol makes it worse.
Absolutely.
People anesthetize themselves. They want to drink. They want to smoke marijuana. They want to do whatever it takes so that they can feel like they don't feel anything.
Yeah, I see so many people on so many, 2 and 3 antidepressants at a time.
You love that? Wait, okay, that's my arena as a pharmacist.
She loves this.
I hate antidepressants.
Yeah. And then the sleep medications. Yes.
Oh, wait,
it's
diazepam and Zolpidem, and everybody's sick, and their brain, they can't remember anything. No wonder why.
Yeah.
They're all anesthetized.
And what we found is once we optimize your hormones, a lot of times we can taper off the antidepressants, the anti-anxiety medication,
and the sleep medication.
And the sleep medication, because you're getting a nice, delicious sleep. So try to get away from the prescription pad. Go back to the root of the problem, and it's hormones.
Agreed. And they can find you at LOWTE Florida, FLORIDA.com. That's lowtflorida.com. Phone number is 954-791-4498, and you can reach Carolyn Zollmeyer, nurse practitioner, and her staff, and they're amazing. And please come in and get a free consult with her so that you understand what it is that you're missing out on and how you can improve your life. It's so incredibly important. And you do the bioidentical pellets.
Yes.
Can you just briefly explain what those
Absolutely.
are? And how you insert them?
Yes. Well, what we're able to do is to scientifically dose the pellets for you. We know exactly what your body's going to benefit from by taking a quick medical history and then also analyzing your blood, putting it together in a computerized program and giving you a printout of exactly what your body's going to benefit from, because we not only optimize the hormones but the thyroid as well. A sluggish thyroid can give the same effects as sluggish hormones.
That's a very big deal. I have thyroid issues, and it's
so you
very serious.
don't want the patient leaving still not with everything that they need. So we optimize the hormones, optimize the thyroid, and then optimize the nutrients. Our printout actually tells you exactly how much vitamin D3 with K2 you need, how many omega-3s, probiotics, iodine, the whole bit. So you have a nice plan to get yourself feeling better.
And you guys also, we know that you developed a supplement. We're going to get to that. But what part does nutrition and exercise play in this once you've gotten the hormones into the body? What what part does that play? I mean,
It's
percentage
major. It's major because what we have is a pellet that's absorbed and it's cardio released, meaning as your blood is passing by the little pellets, it's picking up little micro pieces of it.
Okay.
So if your heart rate is up, whether it's stress or exercise, you're going to pick up more. You're going to get a better workout. You'll be able to rebuild muscle. You have to lift heavier, run further.
For
absolutely.
Women and men.
Both men and women.
And
yes.
what's the major hormone that makes people feel great?
Well, I think the sexy, happy hormone is testosterone.
Yeah, we like that.
Yeah, but a lot of women, going through menopause, estrogen, the lack of estrogen, can really wreak havoc on their lives, and so we evaluate that as well, and we do.
That's with your blood work and the tests that you do.
Yeah,
so
we want to give you what you need.
Balance, right? Instead of just giving something straight across the board, okay, everybody gets the same thing.
That's what we used to do with the synthetics. Yes.
Right, you're literally customizing a plan and a program for your patients.
The hormones are not a one-size-fits-all. We need to look at the patient, look at the blood work, the whole bit.
Yeah, it's so incredibly important. And like we talked about this before, that is, if you don't feel great, you don't want to have sex, and your hormones naturally decrease. And one of the things that we talked about before the show is that women have lists. People have lists. They go through the list. It's a list all day long, and the phone, and the kids, and this and that. And at any point in your life, whether it's your late 20s, early 30s, age, what age do you see most frequently when your patients are like they've already hit rock bottom?
Yeah.
And they're thinking, someone help me.
The interesting part is women start to lose their testosterone in their late 30s, men in their late 20s, and early 30s for men. And it can be a quick drop or a slow drop. I've had some men in my office in their 20s that have a lower testosterone level than their father that I tested the same day. The father's in the 600s. This guy's in 125. It's a wide
insane.
range, but it is, and it's happened more than once. I've got like 5 young guys that they're in.
What do you attribute that to? Because that's got to be something.
That's
there has
a tough
to be
one.
Food. Something is blocking either their uptake of the hormone testosterone into the muscle cells or onto the binding sites, or something's going on.
Yeah, it's been really frustrating for me because I really want to help these guys. And what we found is that the sex hormone binding globulin will be high.
Okay.
And that's a protein that's produced by your liver that binds up the androgens and the estrogen. And we have found that there is a natural root from Malaysia that helps release that and helps get that testosterone so you actually feel the benefits of all of it in your system, whether you're producing it by yourself or if you're bringing it in from bioidentical hormones or even synthetic hormones. It can help release it from the sex hormone binding globulin.
So in other words, this particular supplement, which is called Free TE, is something that will help patients that have that sex hormone binding globulin that's not right. They're going to be able to take this and notice a difference.
Exactly. What it kind of does is it gives you the most benefit of your testosterone, whether you're producing it yourself or bringing it in. It helps with your muscle strength. It helps with your stamina. It helps with your sex drive. For men, it helps with erection issues. It has a lot of good. That's what they were originally using it for in Malaysia, was for male vitality. Actually helps increase their sperm count. So people that are trying
increases the sperm count.
It helps with that, and
that's interesting because that could be used in people who are trying to get pregnant.
Exactly.
Oh wow, this is a major
It's really
use.
good stuff. I mean, I'm so excited about it.
I would be excited too because it sounds like the uses for it are endless. So pretty much most of your patients should be on this no matter
Everybody,
what.
if you're going through times where you're not feeling your best, it could be your first approach. Optimizing your hormones, of course, is my passion, and that's what we do. But if you're not able to do that, or you want to just take a step into it, this can give you some benefit. But we would like to at least have you come in and talk. But we do sell it on our website on lowteflorida.com. We have a launch price of $29.99.
Oh, that's great. You know what?
That's for a little bit.
That's really very reasonable.
Yeah.
And the product is actually a root of a tree, and it's called Uricoma longifolia. Another common name for it is
long jack.
long jack. So like if you're into herbs and you're not really sure about the genus and species, then long jack is what this would be
right.
termed
But the patented extract is called Tonga Ali. Yeah, right. And it was patented through MIT and the country of Malaysia. They got together and brought it to the United States.
And that's what you have. Mm-hmm. That's what you've created right here.
And there's over 13 human studies that are very good studies showing the benefits for weight loss, for sexual enhancement, for stamina, for exercise.
So this is like an overall kind of feel-good type of herbal
it gets
supplement.
The body, it gets the testosterone floating, so you can actually feel the benefits of it. So once in a blue moon, we'll have somebody that's not really responding to the therapy,
yeah,
even
you
though
call them non-responders.
Non-responders, where you're giving them and giving them and giving them, and then you test their sex hormone binding globulin, and what you're giving them is binding up, and it's not free floating, so they can feel the good news.
So it's like a waste.
So
those hormones are literally in the body being wasted because
they're floating around, but they're not doing anything. Okay. They're not giving you the love and feeling, and so this helps release those so that you can feel good.
Okay.
So it's an interesting supplement. I mean, even just from like the human studies of like 3 weeks, there is a weight reduction. I mean, so it's a good thing.
So men and women.
Men and women.
Do you notice the body fat, or is it just weight overall?
No, it's body
fat.
The
body fat.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. Helps lean them out.
I like to know that.
Yep.
So once again, guys, it is the website is TELOWTE Florida FLORIDA.com. The phone is 954-791-4498 on the screen there for Facebook and Periscope. That is honestly quite fascinating, and you guys came up with this.
We found it because I was so intrigued, trying to find an answer for my young guys, because pelleting a 25-year-old is not the answer.
Doesn't make sense.
No, because the pelleting actually helps stops the production of testosterone.
Right, you don't want to stop their natural production
I want to enhance it. And there is medication they can use, but it just as a supplement to it, we want to give them this so that they can free up whatever they're producing to get the best benefit.
Right. Now, what about your older patients? What about your patients and the gentlemen in their 60s?
Oh, they would definitely benefit from it too. Absolutely,
so in other words,
of any age.
So getting pelleted, but also taking the free TE.
Yes, my oldest patient is 88. That I'm optimizing their hormones, and he's still having sex. So there's definitely sex after 40. Sex after 80 is our next talk, yeah.
Sex after 80 is the next show, folks. We're not there yet.
No. Not even close.
Oh my gosh, I love it. All right, so the supplement releases the hormone into the body so that it can be utilized, and what are the benefits? We talked about that a little bit before.
The benefits are basically those of your testosterone enhancement, what you would hope for that, your mental clarity, your better sleep.
Oh wait, mental clarity. Let's talk about that, because
the brain fog.
Because that's something, we always think about, I think about thyroid, when your adrenal glands are pumping out way too much adrenaline, noradrenaline, and that mental clarity, if you could get that also by having the pellets and the free TE, seriously?
I've been correcting a gentleman, he's an attorney in town, and I've been correcting him for years, and he says he knows when he needs to call me is he gets his brain fog and his ability to focus is diminished.
Goes down.
Yeah, he's trying to work on a project and his mind just keeps going left and right, and he says he knows, and then once he's corrected, he's back on his game. And for professionals, as we're aging and the younger millennials are coming and nipping at our heels, we got to stay on our game, and this helps with that.
But we're also, we also need to stay on our game because we need to mentor. We need to mentor the millennials. They've got this wonderful, broad, limitless possibilities within their minds, and yet they lack the discipline that we as the older generation have to share with them so that they can stay focused and complete tasks as they need to. And if this increases mental clarity and acuity, I'm all for it.
Absolutely. I mean, just having your hormones in line, just think about how you felt maybe 10, 15 years ago. I know you're a rock star and you still feel like a teenager, but
Who said that?
For everybody else. The other thing about this, what I like, is it helps reduce your cortisol levels. And so many of us are functioning under such high stress that if we can reduce the cortisol levels, it helps us naturally slim down, helps us feel better. I mean, our poor little adrenals.
Exactly. Explain to our audience what that reduction of cortisol means and why does your cortisol go up?
You tell me.
Well, cortisol goes up when you're under major stress. Let's say you are feeling overwhelmed. Feeling overwhelmed is nothing but a feeling. And if you shift how you feel, then you shift how the body actually responds. That's all about.
She likes talking about this. That's why I do it back to her.
You're so good to me. It's all about your brain. We have frontal lobes, and once those frontal lobes are synced, you can do some different types of meditation. You can do hemispheric holosync, things that actually bring the left and right hemisphere together so that they're functioning as one. It makes a huge difference in how you respond to stressors. But when people don't know these things and they're just going through life and they're just pounding, and they're plowing through, then those levels of cortisol go up. Your adrenal glands, which are a little gland on top of the kidney, pump out this particular hormone, and it causes an increase in body fat, it causes an increase in weight, it causes brain fog, it makes you feel like you want to die. I've been there.
I think it really increases anxiety
It
too.
does. It does.
Yeah.
And I think it also makes people depressed because they're not
feeling their best.
They're not feeling their best, and they're thinking, you know what? I really am doing everything I can possibly do, and I still feel really crappy. And that's not a good place to be. That lack of mental clarity and having those high levels really adds to the lack of hormones. So when you correct that, and check the thyroid too, as you said, check the what's going on with the adrenals, and when you level that off and take the free TE also, then they're going to decrease their body fat, they're going to feel better, they're going to increase their muscle mass, their mood is going to increase, they'll get off the antidepressants, they'll stop needing sleeping pills, and the body will be able to function as it's supposed to.
That's one of our premises, is that we want people to age healthier and live age healthier and live happier. And Dr. Donovitz, my medical director, has written a book, and it's available at our website for free. We'll mail it to you so that you can learn more about bioidentical hormones, not only the feel-good benefits, but the health benefits of having your hormones optimized as we head into our golden years.
Exactly. But you know what? The funny thing is that before we ever had the bioidenticals and we were able to optimize the hormones, people were pretty miserable. And, you know, at 50 years old, you would think, or 40 years old, you think, oh my gosh, you're ancient. You're on the way out. Oh, you're going to die by the time you're 60. That's why, you know, the word retirement is should be trashed from our language. I don't know who came up with that word, but well, the
reason I got into hormone therapy originally when I first came out of school was I was working with a physician out west, and he was a very good guy and very pro-nurse practitioner, very supportive. But I was sharing a desk with him, trying to learn as much as I could about managing patients, and I kept seeing psych referral on the menopausal patients. Finally, I went to him with a stack of charts, and I said, listen, they can't all be crazy. And he says, oh, yes, they are. He says, they're sweating, they're screaming, they're kicking, they're cranky, they're mean. He says, they need to go see a psychiatrist and get their life in order. And I said, well, can I have those patients? And he's like, well, God bless you, go forward, I'll go deliver babies. You know, and I said, okay. So that's where my passion stemmed back in 100 years ago when I first came out of school, was from that, because then I started working with these patients, and this is back in the days of Premarin. I mean, I was one of the biggest suppliers of Premarin.
Conjugated estrogens, dangerous stuff, man.
Good stuff. But it made the ladies feel better, and so I kept getting the phone calls
temporarily
that they felt better, that they felt more like their old selves. Their husbands liked them better, they liked themselves better, and so that kind of kept me going with it. That, you know, we're on to something here. And then after the Women's Health Initiative in 2002, I thought we were going to have a world war if everybody quit prescribing the Premarin, and we didn't have an option. So that's when I really focused in on the bioidentical hormones and started studying that.
How did you get introduced into the bioidenticals? Because, you you knew what standard allopathic medicine says. Okay, you got to do this, you got to do this.
It was just on my own because I was frustrated and I didn't want to write Premarin anymore. And so what I did is I searched out our nation's greats and I went and studied under them. Went to Salt Lake City, studied under Dr. Neil Rousier, went to Orlando, Naples, and then finally I was very frustrated because I'd come back all excited about the research of not only the feel good but the health benefits of it, but they weren't teaching me how to dose. And finally,
that was the key.
That was the key.
That was Gary, Dr. Gary.
Yep. A friend of mine, a doctor in Arizona, told me, you got to go to Texas and study under Dr. Donovitz. And I'm like, well, what do I have to lose? I've been everywhere else.
Yep.
So I packed up, went to Texas, studied under him, and it all came together. He filled in my little gaps of knowledge, and then he taught me how to dose. And it was just like, once I had that, because my brain is fairly black and white, and I really want to do the right thing. I wanted to be able to give my patients the right hormone, bioidentical, the right amount, have it dosed personally for them, and also the right delivery system. The safest way to get hormones into your body is the pellet system. So,
which is a
so it all worked out, and
and he was on. Carolyn was on a couple months ago with Dr. Gary Donovitz, and that was a delightful show. If you go back on the Faith Washington Show page, you can scroll back and actually find that interview that I had both of you at, and it was really eye-opening. Yeah. The two of you together have a great synergy.
Oh yeah,
really
because
do.
We're like-minded because I took on his beliefs.
But the thing is,
I learned from him.
That dosing piece of it. It's critical. No, it's critical for the patient.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's critical for the patient. Without that, you know what? You can slap something into the body, but it doesn't mean that it's going to give them the optimal benefit.
Right.
Why just throw something in? That's the same thing as taking Premarin or,
absolutely.
or what have you, and that doesn't. We know that didn't work.
Yeah.
So very, very impressive.
I was the first BioT provider with a pellet system in Florida.
And you are right now the #1 practitioner in the state of Florida, folks. So Fort Lauderdale, you want to go see Carolyn Zollmeyer and let her dose you, do your blood work, check yourself out, and also you're #2 in the nation, to my understanding.
Busy. Yeah,
really busy. Wait, Alex and Bonnie can vouch for that. Oh my goodness! Listen, it's just so great to talk to you again, Carolyn.
It's always a pleasure, Faith.
It's such a pleasure. And folks, remember, free TE. You want to go down and you want to go to lowteflorida.com online. Please, please, please do yourself a favor. It's an investment. Go and see her and her team and let them help you. Life is short. Enjoy it while you're here. Sex after 40, sex at any age. It's a great thing. It's great for you, your family, for everyone involved. Thank you so much, folks, for joining us here on the Faith Washington Show. We are live on Facebook, Periscope, 95.3 FM, 1470 AM, and the iHeartRadio app, WWNN. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week. Thank you, Carolyn.
Thank you.
You've been listening and watching The Faith Washington Show, where we have widened your view of the world. Our guests share their business, family, and fun life hacks to make your world better. Hope you've learned something to apply to your life and business.